Hello everyone, this is Prashant. So in this lecture, we are continuing the radar frequency bands along with radar range equation. So let's see previous lecture. So we are discussing about introduction of radar along with classifications of radar and applications of radar. So radar is acronym for radio detection and ranging. As we know, radio detection and ranging. So by passing the electromagnetic signals, we are identifying or detect the objects, then find out the range between the transmitter to the target or target to the receiver. So this is the about introduction and classification. So based on the purposes and applications, we have so many types of radars like bistatic radar and monostatic radar. In bistatic radar, the transmitter and receiver both are separated by a distance. But in monostatic radar, transmitter and receiver both are co-located at one point. So here these are the bistatic radar and monostatic radar. Along with, we already studied continuous wave radar, Doppler radar, active and passive radar, instrumentation radar, weather radar, navigation radar, like that. So these are the classifications of radar. Next one, applications of radar. Very, very important term. So the main application of radar to identify the to measure the distance between them. So here the applications are in ATC, air traffic control, air traffic navigation, in law enforcement, in terms of military. So these are the topics we discussed in the previous lecture, that is first lecture. So frequency is nothing but number of cycles per second. In mathematically, it is called F is equal to 1 by T. So the frequency is high, the time period is very low. So that is the relationship between frequency and time. So frequency is basically it defines number of cycles per second. So here every system having some sort of frequencies, frequency bands. So here the radar also having some specific bands in order to operate them. So here this is the complete diagram of radar frequency bands. So by observing this diagram only we can identify or we can know the complete frequency bands of radar. So here, so generally the initial frequency band, that is audio frequency, the initial frequency band for audio, that is 30 to 30 kilohertz. To hear or to listen or to our voice, audio frequencies are 30 to 30 kilohertz. After audio, we have video. After audio frequency, we have video frequency, that is above 30 megahertz or above 30 kilohertz or up to the 30 megahertz. So these are the initial frequency bands which are we are using in our home application. But in beyond this frequencies, either audio or video, high applications, we are using radar frequency bands. So here, so the complete diagram of is on the axis. Here the frequencies from 30 hertz. Here this is from 30 hertz to 3000 gigahertz. So from 30 to 3000 gigahertz, that means in between these two, all frequency bands are covered. So here this is in terms of wavelength. So this is in terms of frequency F. This is in wavelength in terms of lambda. It is nothing but range lambda in terms of kilometers, for 10 kilometers to 0.11 mm. So here we have the first one, the frequency band start with VLF. So that is very low frequency very low frequency, that is from 3 kilohertz to 3K to 30 kilohertz. So it having VLF stands for very low frequency, that is having myriametric waves. So it is called band 4 frequency band. Why it is called band 4? Why it is called band 4? Simply, so here it is 30K. The range of very low frequency is up to 30K. 30K means what? 30 into 1000. So 3 into 10 power 4. So it is band 4. So 10 power 4. 4 denotes the band of the particular frequency frequency term. So that is band 4, 3 into 10 power 4. That's why it is called band 4 frequency of radar. The next we have low frequency term. LF stands for low frequency. That is up to 300 kilohertz. 300 kilohertz. So here it is band 5. This is 4. This is 5. 30K to 300 kilohertz. So it is having kilometric waves. Kilometric waves. It having kilometric waves. The next one, MF. MF, medium frequency waves. So the range for is 300 kilohertz to 3 megahertz. So this is band 6. This is band 6. So it is medium frequency band. So it is having hectometric waves. So very low frequency having myriametric wave. So low frequency band having kilometric wave. Next one, medium frequency, it having hectometric waves. It is band 6. 10 into 10 power 4, 10 into 10 power 5, 10 power 6, it is band 6 waves. It is used for broadcast range. The application of band 6 medium frequencies are used in broadcasting typing. Next one, high frequency. HF stands for high frequency band. So it is decometric waves. It is the range from 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz. So it is band 7 of radar. So next, VHF. VHF, very high frequency band. It is having metric waves. It is having metric waves. It is also band 8. So it is up to 300 megahertz. So it is band 8. Band 8. The next band, UHF. The next band, UHF, it is having ultra high frequency band, decimetric waves up to 3 gigahertz. So it is band 9 of frequency radar. The next one, super high frequency band, centimetric waves up to 30 gigahertz. This is band 9 of radar. The last one, EHF. So extremely high frequency band up to 3300 gigahertz. So it is band 11. So it is having millimetric waves. So these are the frequency band starting from very low frequency to extremely high frequency. It is also known as band 4, band 5, band 6, band 7, band 8 up to band 11. So here, so from here to here up to high frequency, it is just associated with radio frequencies. So here the letter designation, these are the radar frequency region. So that's come in next slide. So these are the frequency bands. So all the entire frequency bands from very low frequency to extremely high frequency band, it is not give sufficient it is not used in sufficient way in radar application. That's why we are having radar frequencies in separate with title. So here, so these are the some standard radar frequency band and nomenclature. These are very important to learn. So here the list of radar frequency letter and nomenclature adopted by IEEE. These are related to the specific bands assigned by the International Telecommunication Union for radar only. So these are the radar frequency band starting with high frequency. So here the band designation, frequency range, and usage, application of a particular band of frequency. So why the frequency bands divided into some nomenclature? So for example, so this is the transmitter, this is the one of the target. So for example, I am using one transmitter to operate some frequency band. So if the enemy know the frequency band of me, so easily they can destroy our system. So in order to protect that situation, so the frequency band divided into some categories. So our frequency band, they don't know to the information is not available for the enemy. So the frequency band starting from high frequency, so the high frequency range is 3 to 3 megahertz. So what are the applications of high frequency band? OTH, over the horizon surveillance. So this is the main application of high frequency band, the range up to 30 megahertz, 3 to 30 megahertz. Next one, second one, very high frequency. Very high frequency range is from 30 to 300 megahertz. 30 to 300 megahertz, it is very long range surveillance. So the application of very high frequency range is range 3 to 300 megahertz. So the application is very long range surveillance. So very high applications, that is not home applications. Next one, ultra high frequency band. Ultra high frequency band range is 300 to 1000 megahertz. 300 to 1000 megahertz. The main application of ultra high frequency is very long range surveillance. So very high frequency, ultra high frequency, almost the applications are same. So the range of frequency is little bit change. So for very high frequency, it is from 30 to 300 megahertz. Ultra high frequency band 3000 to 1000 megahertz. The next one, the band specific nomenclature for radar is the band in single letter, that is L band, S band, C band, X band, KU. This is not KA, this is KU. KU, K band, KA band, the last one is millimeter band. So let's start with L band. So the range of L band is 122 gigahertz. So the radar frequency is very high frequency to having, that is in micro. So the start with gigahertz only. So the L band frequency range is 1 to 2 gigahertz. So the main application of L band is long range surveillance along with en route traffic control. So it may be used in aircraft detection, aircraft control, air traffic control system. So this is for L band. The next one, S band. So what is the range for S band? 2 to 4 gigahertz. 2 to 4 gigahertz. So the main application of S band is moderate range surveillance. Moderate range surveillance it is used in terminal traffic control or long range weather radars. So already we have weather radar system in visor. So for that it may use in S band frequency band, S frequency band. Okay, so the range for S band is 224 gigahertz. Apart from that, we have another band of frequency, that is C band. So for C band, the range is 4 to 8 gigahertz. So the main application of C band is long range tracking and airborne weather radar detection. So airborne radar means one time we already know in the last lecture, SLAR. SLAR, side looking airborne radar. It is developed in 1940s, but in sophisticated technique in 1950s. You know. So side looking. For example, this is the plane. So this is the beam. Side looking. So the performance of the SLAR is working like this. Okay. So next one X band. The range for X band is 8 to 12 gigahertz. 8 to 12 gigahertz. So the application of X band is short range tracking missile guidance, mapping marine radar airborne intercept. So the X band is used in military. Simply, the main application of X band is used in military applications. Compulsory. The next one, KU. KU band. The range of KU band is 12 to 18 gigahertz. 12 to 18 gigahertz. It is for high resolution mapping with satellite altimetry. So this is about KU band used in high resolution mapping. Next one, K band. So the range of K band is 18 to 24 gigahertz. The main application of K band is little use, that is water vapor. So to identify the fault in water in some other parameters. So this is about K band of radar. The next one, Ka band. Last but one, Ka band. So the range of Ka band is 27 to 40 gigahertz. The main application of Ka band is very high resolution mapping, aircraft surveillance. So here we have resolution mapping, high resolution mapping, very high resolution mapping, ultra high resolution mapping, like that. So for that, we are using Ka band 27 to 40 gigahertz range for very high resolution mapping and aircraft surveillance. The last one, millimeter band, very important band, millimeter band. So in order to develop some current applications in the radar technology, simply it is a millimeter frequency band are using. So the range for millimeter band is 4 to 1000 plus gigahertz range. So it is experimental purpose. So right now we are using some millimeter frequency band to develop current applications in the radio technology. So I hope you understand, all of you. This is the standard radio frequency letter band nomenclature. Very important to know the to measure the performance of the radar technology. So these are the some basic radar frequencies. Next one, radar range equation. So before entering into radar range equation, the first I am drawing one theoretical diagram. So this is the transmission, a transmitter. This is transmitting antenna by passing the signals to identify the target. So the target energy are radiated in all directions. So this is the receiver. The receiver antenna, or this is the transmitter antenna receiver. So the range between the transmitter and target is one distance. From target to receiver is another distance. So this is for only bistatic radar. As we know, in bistatic radar, both transmitter and receiver are separated by a distance. So here we have one distance, that is R, or distance D, just experimental purpose. So this is the theoretical diagram. This is the theoretical system. So for this diagram, we have to derive some equations. So there is nothing but a system, radar system. So mathematical model of a physical process is nothing but a system. So this is the system. The transmitter, here we have target, we have receiver. So from the transmitter to target, there is a distance. From the target to receiver, there is another distance. Distance one range, in terms of range R1 and range R2. So for this theoretical diagram, we have to derive some equations. So let's move, that is radar range equation. So in order to measure the range between the transmitter and target, transmitter to receiver, transmitter to target, then target to receiver. Okay, so let's start with the initial term. So the radar, what is radar range equation first? Let me introduce. The radar equation relates the range of a radar to that characteristics of the transmitter, receiver, characteristics of transmitter, receiver, antenna, target and environment. So in order to derive the equation of radar range, so we have consider these parameters like transmitter. Every transmitter having some power, transmitting power, or transmitting gain, it having some cross section area, it having some losses. Like that, we have to consider all those parameters. Okay, transmitter like receiver, antenna, target and environment. So what is environment? The channel. So in environment, we have chance to emit the noise to get the distortion. So next, if the power of the radio transmitter, I am talking about only transmitter. So for this diagram, so here we have the equation for transmitter to target and target to receiver. So the equation for transmitter to target, target to receiver. So let's start with transmitter to receiver. So here the power of the radio transmitter is denoted by PT. PT. The next, if the isotropic antenna, so it isotropic antenna the propagates in all directions. Look like this diagram. The target is isotropic target. It propagates in all directions. So here isotropic antenna used the power density at a distance R. From the radar is equal to the transmitter power divided by the surface of 4 by square. So simply the power density of isotropic antenna, transmitter isotropic antenna, PR is equal to PT by 4 pi R square. 4 pi R square. Power density from isotropic antenna is equal to PT by 4 pi R square. So PT is the transmitting power or transmitting antenna power. Next 4 pi is the entire angle pattern. Next to R square is the distance. Next one, the power density at the target from an antenna with a transmitting gain. So here in the before equation, we are not include any gain, any other parameter. Just we talk about transmitting power along with the range R. So here the relationship between PT and R is inversely proportional to R. The transmitter power is inversely proportional to the range of the range. Next one, so the here the transmitting gain power density from direct to antenna Pt into G by 4 pi r square. So here the term is included gain of the transmitter or receiver. Next one, the measure of the amount of incident power. Incident power interrupted by a target and re-radiated back in the direction of the radar as denoted by radar cross section area A. Here the another term I introduced here. So here this is a gain G. Here the radar cross section area. The radar cross section, that is A. This is capital A, not small a. Gain radar cross section A, and is defined by the relation. So the power density of echo signal at radar Pt into G by sigma 4 pi r square. So the A is equal to, or AE is equal to sigma A into G into lambda square by 4 pi. So this is the third step of equation, radar range equation. Next one, the radar cross section has a units of area. It is the characteristics of a particular target, and it is a measure of its size as seen by the radar. Next one, the antenna captures a portion of echo power which are reflected by the target. If the effective area of the receiving antenna is denoted by capital A, and the power P is received by the signal. So that is PR is equal to, receiving power PR is equal to Pt into G by 4 pi r square into sigma by 4 pi r square into AE. So here what is AE? AE is equal to G lambda square by 4 pi. So substitute this equation here, we get PTG AE sigma by 4 pi whole square into r power 4. So here 4 pi into 4 pi whole square, r square into r square, r power 4, AE is the numerator term. So the equation of receiver power, that is in terms of transmitting power, gain, aperture area, cross section area in terms of range. Next one, so the maximum radar range equation, that is Rmax. It is for maximum range. Rmax is the distance beyond the which target cannot be detected. So it occurs when the received echo signal power PR is just equal to the minimum detectable signal, that is S minimum. So here we have another parameter include minimum detectable signal. Minimum detectable signal S minimum. S minimum is equal to Rmax. The equation in terms of range Rmax is equal to Pt into G AE sigma by 4 pi whole square into S minimum whole power 1 by 4. So this is for equation for maximum range Rmax. Next one, so the antenna theory gives the relationship between transmitting gain and receiving effective antenna. So here the antenna gain in terms of effective area and wavelength lambda, G is equal to 4 pi AE by lambda square. So here apart from this, I write one equation for aperture area. AE is equal to G into lambda square by 4 pi. So this equation will help in solving numericals on the radar range equation. So we can write gain is equal to, in terms of aperture area AE, G is equal to 4 pi into AE by lambda square. Apart from that, aperture area AE is equal to G into lambda square by 4 pi. If you know the here two terms, there is a easy way to find out the gain of the transmitting antenna, either transmitting antenna or receiving antenna. Next one, since the radar generally use the same antenna for both transmission and receiver. So up to here we are talking about bistatic radar. For bistatic radar. For monostatic radar, same antenna for both transmission and reception. So here Rmax is equal to PT G square lambda square sigma by 4 pi cube S minimum whole power 1 by 4. Apart from that, Rmax is equal to PT into AE square sigma by, so just you substitute the value of gain 4 pi into AE by lambda square. So after substituting the equation, we get Rmax is equal to PT into AE square by sigma 4 pi lambda square S minimum whole power 1 by 4. So here Rmax is equal to PT 4 pi whole square AE square by lambda power 4 into lambda square sigma by 4 pi cube S min. So to break this, we get Rmax is equal to PT AE square sigma by 4 pi lambda square S minimum whole power 1 by 4. So finally we got the equation for both same antenna for both transmission and receiver are monostatic radar. So as we already know, for both monostatic radar, we know monostatic radar equation for monostatic radar and equation for bistatic radar, including losses, transmitter losses, receiver losses and medium losses. So this is about radar range equation. Rmax is equal to for monostatic radar PT into AE square by AE square sigma by 4 pi lambda square into S minimum whole power 1 by 4. So here the continuation is radar waveform. As we already know, the waveforms are either in sinusoidal continuous wave signal, either in pulse wave. So here the pulse signal is here. This is the look like pulse wave. So it is a pulse signal. In order to detect that, so the transmitted train of narrow rectangular shaped pulses modulating sine wave signal. So basically we are transmitting sinusoidal signals only, but in pulse radar the signals look like, the formation of signals is like this pulse signals. So the range to the target is determined by measuring time taken by the pulse to travel the target and return to the radar. So here from here to here there is a time period that it is also known as pulse repetition time, that is PRT. So here one term we have for first one PRT, pulse repetition time. So from where to, this is the starting point, this is the ending point. So one cycle is nothing but number of cycles per second is nothing but frequency. So the reciprocal of frequency is nothing but time period. So starting point from starting to ending point. So there is a one cycle. So for that we have some time. The time is known as pulse repetition time. Pulse repetition. So the pulse is repetition in so many ways. So here this is the pulse width. Pulse width tau. This is the rest time listening. So it is the on position is nothing but this is T on. From here to here this is T on. So this is, there is no echoes here. This is T off. So this is T on is nothing but pulse width T tau. This is from transmitter. So this is for reason T off is nothing but rest time, that is for receiver. So this is radar carrier frequency. So this is radar waveform. So pulse repetition frequency PRF, pulse repetition time. So time is nothing but reciprocal of frequency, it is okay. So this is T on, this is T off. So based on that, we have calculate duty cycle. Duty cycle, the formula for duty cycle is T on by T on plus T off. So this is the equation for duty cycle T on by T on plus T off. So next move on to the one parameter of radar range equation. So that is very important to know, maximum unambiguous range. So here the maximum unambiguous range, what is maximum unambiguous range? So maximum, okay, what is unambiguous range? So maximum unambiguous range, the range beyond the target which has occurred second time around a course. So let me explain what is second time around a course. So if the PRF, pulse repetition frequency, is too high echoes, it may arrive after the transmission of the next pulse. So such echoes are called the second time around echoes. Let me explain what is second time around. So for example, we have here one pulse signal. So this is our pulse signal, looks like pulse signal. So the echoes are, so from here to here there is one pulse. So from here to here there is second. From here to here from here to here there is a second echo. So the echo, it is it's somewhere it is not happening, but the echo after second pulse only there may be a echo. So even though the echo signal are after arriving after second pulse, so the signal is associated with the first pulse only. Okay, so this is the second time arrived echoes. So the range between from here to here is known as unambiguous range. Okay, so the range beyond the target appear as second time around echoes is called the maximum unambiguous range. So okay, so maximum unambiguous range Rmax is equal to in terms of C by 2FP. So in mathematically, in theoretically, the range beyond the target which appears as second time around, okay. But in mathematically, R suffix unambiguous is equal to C, velocity of light into velocity of light by 2 into pulse frequency. R unambiguous is equal to C by 2FP. Next, the most common radar is a train of narrow rectangular shape pulses modulating by a sine wave carrier, we know. So the distance range to the target is determined by the measuring of time TR taken by the pulse to travel to the target and return. So here the speed of light 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Okay. So in terms of R is equal to C into TR by 2. Electromagnetic energy propagates at a speed of light. So C is equal to velocity of light into TR by 2. So here the 2 denotes two-way communication. 2 denotes two-way communication. Two-way communication. So this is about pulse compression. So that technique of using a long modulated pulse to obtain a resolution of short pulse. So but the energy of a long pulse is known as pulse compression. So this is about the relationship between pulse repetition frequency PRF to the maximum unambiguous range. So the relationship between pulse repetition frequency and maximum unambiguous range is look like that. So the exact value of the pulse repetition frequency starting from 10 to 10k the hertz. The range is 10k to 10,000 nautical miles, not in kilometers. So the always the maximum range is in terms of nautical miles. So the frequency in terms of edges. So this is the relationship between pulse repetition frequency and maximum unambiguous range in terms of nautical miles. So this is about maximum unambiguous range, R unambiguous is equal to C into TR by 2. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.